So, I accidentally broke my green screen yesterday because I had a little trouble holding up. I need one of those like reel-in green screens. They're easier to handle. But yeah, I want to make this video to tell you about to celebrate a very special occasion. Today, the Veggie Fantape Box's first ever video, and only video to this day, The Princess and the Prophet Pea, got 100,000 views and grew 360 subscribers. And, they did a really good job constructing that story. Seaman, Flip, and 321 Blender are all fans of VeggieTales who animate their own short little things with it, who worked on this project. Pixar fan 8695 and Red Scallion Animations are two other fan animators who parody VeggieTales that gave their compliments and condolences to this production. And Cole Wright and Abraham Benson are both people who had other jobs in making The Princess and the Prophet Pea, who told us how much fun they had working on it. Now there's something really special about the Veggie Fantape Box and the combined efforts of Seaman, Flip, and 321 Blender, because they did a great job of making this look like the early computer animation of VeggieTales from the early 1990s. It looks like a professional production of VeggieTales that actually could have been made back in 1992. Sort of like how in alternate universe, sort of like how when Vic Mignogna and other voice actors and set designers who are friends or fans with him that grew up watching Star Trek the original series as a kid, they made their own 11 episode fourth season of Star Trek the original series to give the original series closure before the first movie, and it was called Star Trek Continues. Vic Mignogna played William Shatner's part of James T. Kirk. Todd Haberkorn played Leonard Nimoy's part of Spock, and Chuck Huber played DeForest Kelly's part of Dr. Bones McCoy. And I was really impressed with how, with their hairstyle and their face and the outfits they wore, they managed to look 92% like the original actors did. Those same costumes back in the 1960s. In The Princess and the Prophet Pea, well, yeah, there was like this AI robotic voices for uh, artificial intelligence recreations of Phil Vischer's voice for Bob the Tomato and the Prophet Pea, and Mike Naranki for Larry. But for the other characters, um, for other parts in The Princess and the Prophet Pea, for other parts in The Princess and the Prophet Pea, also including for the character voices and for also the writing and animation and music, the like breakdown. So yeah, Joe Davis and Neba voiced Phil Vischer's parts, like the Prophet P. It sounded like Jimmy Gord, and the King, who sounded like Mr. Nezer. Abraham Benson and the two of the celery guards. Mike Naranki. Abraham Benson voiced Mike Naranki's parts of Celery Guard 3 and the Cucumber Angel, who definitely had a different look from Larry, but had a similar voice. And Jordan Gaming 101, Jordan Gaming 101, who composed the music, she also voiced Gail Freeman's parts of the narrator and the princess, who sounded like Lovey Asparagus. Now, as far as the AI sampled voices go, I thought that artificial intelligence recreation of Phil Vischer's voice for Bob the Tomato and the Prophet P, who sounded like Jimmy, were fine, but the Mike Naranki artificial intelligence for Larry, not so much. He sounded way too much like John Claude P. But yeah, I thought The Princess and the Prophet P was a really cool story, with ways in which, with also some nods that, and things that connected to, give it some connection with later VeggieTales. For instance, when the Prophet P puts on for example, the Prophet P's, he is pretending to be Italian and later, Mexican. His sombrero looks like the one Larry wore in the Dance of the Cucumber from Rack and Benny. And, the tiled floor and the three celery guards, they could be seen, the way they talk and act, they could be like simpler looking prototype designs for the scallions from Daniel and the Lion's Den. And speaking of Daniel and the Lion's Den, when the Cucumber Angel sings to the Prophet P, it reminds me of like when Lisa Vischer sings, "Don't cry, Daniel, fear not, Daniel," in the middle of Daniel and the Lion's Den. Only, 321 Blender said she or he was really impressed with how this scene in the middle of The Princess and the Prophet P mashed together two different eras of VeggieTales, Daniel and the Lion's Den and Duke and the Great Pie War, the first appearance of Sidney Trent as Petunia, because it was a really good parody of the opening song of Duke and the Great Pie War. The song goes, "Duke, Duke, his name is Duke, a snappy dresser and an great cute." Only here that the cucumber, when the Cucumber Angel sings to the Prophet P, it goes, a plan, he has a plan. Follow it rightfully and you'll be glad. Yeah, it was a surprisingly good way of mashing together two different eras of VeggieTales, like 321 Blender just said. I really enjoyed The Princess and the Prophet Pea, and that's why I made this video to promote it. And I also like how they made the countertop look like, you know, like the way it originally did in Take 38 with the sugar and flour labels on those jars. And you know, they even to give it a bit of extra 1992 authenticity, they also this 8-minute long fan production also used the Graphics Studios logo instead of Big Idea, and they even had Microsoft Sydney, which I assume is a computer voice application, to play Coucho the Toaster, which was Phil, Mike, or Lisa's original idea for who would convey the verses before they got that computer they named QWERTY after their 6 layers on the top row of the keyboard. Oh yeah, that reminds me. You know, QWERTY actually also started getting a voice starting with Pistachio in 2010, and Mike Naraki did QWERTY's new voice after he got that upgrade. But yeah, if you know, if you donate your money to Phil Vischer, Mike Naraki, and Lisa Vischer and Heineke to help them, you know, give them the $36 million they need to buy back Big Idea from Comcast and Universal, so that they can have creative control of VeggieTales again. Because trust me, Universal's new vision of VeggieTales cannot survive without its original crew after 28 years. Yeah, if you give them money they need to buy a Big Idea, then well, then maybe they could redo some of then maybe Phil Knight could redo the artificial intelligence voices themselves, as well as Joe Davis and Abraham Benson's parts who sound like them. And you know, because if they could partner up with the VeggieTales, if they got control of Big Idea back and partnered up with the Veggie Fantape Box to I guess talk about to I guess re-release in DVD with their voices and have a say about you know, if Phil Vischer had anything interesting to say about all of VeggieTales' loyal fans fully animating his one of his ideas from 1982 based on 3 colored pencil drawings he made. Well, yeah, I'd really like to know what Phil Vischer has to say about that. I think it'd be really, because I agree with other people in the comments of that video who said Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki would be very proud of the animators and other people who work with the Veggie Fantape Box to make this possible, and hired them to work at Big Idea if we help them buy it back from Universal. You know, the Veggie Fantape Box is very lucky that it could grow many subscribers on just one video. Pretty soon it will have 1,000 subscribers, but you know, most YouTube channels aren't really that lucky, and that's why, you know, I gotta figure out, you know, I gotta try all my ideas, figure out what videos would be interesting for 1,000 people to want to subscribe to me. And you know, 1,000 subscribers can get you very far if they all watch 4 hours a year. And you know, to get 4,000 viewing hours, you need 11 hours in a day. But you know, I'm starting to realize I mean, I only have my most popular video is just which is also about, you know, VeggieTales making kid-friendly version of The Good Place and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. That's only 3/4 of the way to 1,000, and my channel currently has only 3/4 of 100 subscribers. But since I've already made a lot of videos, and this is my 80th video, my 80th and final video for 2021, my New Year's resolution is to focus more on college, schoolwork, and my life outside of YouTube, so I can get better grades in the spring semester than I got in the fall semester, and you know, focus and maintain a healthy work-life balance. I've come to realize that I shouldn't really worry about getting 4,000 subscribers. I mean, 4,000 viewing hours now. All that really matters to my channel for now is that my viewing hours are at least, that my current total number of yearly viewing hours is at least 4 times the number of subscribers I currently have, which is because my channel now has about 500 viewing hours in the past year.